It's a Merseyside derby tonight with Bootle at Valerie Park, and a win for the visitors, as well as seeing them equal their best ever finish to a season, will set them up nicely for a Liverpool Senior Cup semi-final against Everton on Thursday. The Reds, meanwhile, will be looking to make it 3 wins in a row for the first time this season. As such, there's only one change from Saturday's 6-0 win over Stone Dominoes, with Stephen Williams coming in to replace Sean Harris. O'Brien with the delivery into the near post, Torpy heads it away, and Picton can hook it further clear, though it goes more up than away. And then he concedes a silly free kick in a dangerous position. Delivery's curled towards the back stick, Foley gets his head on it, but he can only direct it into the side netting. Torpy with the long throw into the box, looking for Lawless. Danny Albi's in there, and comes Sinnott. He's caught. That's a penalty, surely. Referee points to the spot, and it's a great chance for AFC Liverpool with a little over 10 minutes on the clock. Hesitancy in the Bootle defence from Torpy's long throw. Sinnott was the first to react, and there's no question it was a penalty. Lawless, who put it into the corner from this spot 2 days ago, does exactly the same, and though the keeper goes the right way, he's powerless to stop it. It's AFC Liverpool 1, Bootle 0. It's John Lawless's 7th goal in 11 games for AFC Liverpool, and it's another confident strike from the penalty spot. Brien with the throw-in finds Foley inside the box. Goes off the challenge of Brown and Picton, gives it back to O'Brien. First time ball to the edge of the 6-yard box, in comes Young. Doesn't direct his header on target, but that was a decent half chance for the Bootle midfielder. Sliding tackle by Williams, and he comes away with possession. Plays it long, looking for the winner. Sinnott won't get there though, as Maudsley comes off of his line to clear. Williams picks it up, Bootle keeper's getting back into position, and Williams goes for it first time, but off target. Decent effort though from Stephen Williams. Picton into the feet of Jones, who lays it off to Sinnott. Lawless finds Barry out on the right touchline to Jones. Barry's caught. Free kick to AFC Liverpool. They're playing pretty decent football now. They've got a bit of confidence behind them. Free kick's been taken short to Jones. He looks up and looks to curl it into the top corner. Oh, he's not that far away from it. Sinnott gives chase, but Carby will roll it back to Maudsley. Will be able to clear. He scuffs it, and Sinnott will be able to pick up possession, and the Reds have gained an advantage here. Goes back to Corris, who drops his shoulder and gets past Hastings, puts a cross into the box onto the chest of Lawless, and that's an important interception by Banu Wabi. Otherwise, surely it would be 2-0 to AFC Liverpool now. Picton drives a pass into the centre circle, which is picked up by Lawless, who gets away from a couple of challenges. Hasn't got too many options forward of him, so goes on his own, is tackled. Williams though knocks it forward towards Jones, who stayed on side. Shadowed by Miley. Jones wriggles away from the right back, is hauled back, surely, and then he's clattered. Referee blows his whistle, but the indicated goal kick. Surely AFC Liverpool have been diddled out of a penalty there. Miley pulls back on Jones's shirt, which happens just outside the box, so it's a free kick at the very least. Then he's hacked to the floor, but somehow, incredibly, the referee doesn't see either incident. Picton gets in a header. Corris hooks it forward, and Barry will give chase. There's some confusion there between Carby and Maudsley, and it's dropped to Sinnott, but his first time effort goes straight at the Bootle keeper. His pass forward has been intercepted by Williams. He looks up, plays a ball towards the edge of the box for Jones, who brings it down with his left foot, then goes for it first time with his right into the corner beyond the reach of Maudsley, and that is pure class by Stephen Jones. From nothing on to a goal in the blink of an eye. Good ball forward by Stephen Williams, but it's all about Stephen Jones. Brilliant first touch to bring it under control, and that's about that for a finish. for Bootle. Spreads it out to the left where he finds Wilkinson. Brown goes across to cover. Wilkinson teases Brown, then turns and creates the space to put a cross into the edge of the 6-yard box where Thompson heads home for Bootle unchallenged. And they're back in the game 7 minutes into this second half. Disappointing goal to concede from AFC Liverpool's point of view. Ryan Wilkinson was allowed to get his cross in all too easily, and there was no challenge at all on Lee Thompson, and he had the simple task of heading past a static Bimson. Miley looks for Thompson, doesn't quite find them, but Young can get in there for Bootle, although he's caught by Torpy, and it's a free kick to the visitors. Wilkinson with the delivery, straight onto the head of Banyuabi, but fortunately for AFC Liverpool, he puts his header well wide. Been allowed to bounce, and it's difficult for Torpy, who doesn't deal with it very well. Humphreys comes across to block Thompson's shot, and Torpy can hook it clear. Bootle in the ascendancy in this second half as Thompson receives the throw in, turns away from Torpy, who then barges into him, concedes a free kick in a dangerous position. Thompson leaves it for O'Brien, who curls it into the top corner beyond the reach of Bimson, and Bootle draw level from a perfectly placed free kick from Jamie O'Brien. Torpy looks to find Harris, but Banyuabi's there to prevent the pass reaching him. A bit of head tennis going on here until Williams brings the ball down, lays it out to the left to Jones, but the referee pulls it back for a foul on Williams, though he probably could have played the advantage there with Stephen Jones in a good position. Stephen Williams to go direct for goal, get some good power behind it, but his accuracy's not quite there. Jones looks up, plays it to the edge of the box towards Buckley, can't quite take it on his chest. O'Brien comes across, but Buckley wins a corner. Been played short to Harris, who's got plenty of space and time, but that's disappointing. Doesn't even get it on target. Torpy wins the header. Williams cushions it to Corris, and he can turn and bring it forward for the Reds, so he's quickly closed down by Wilkinson and loses possession. And he sticks out leg and catches Hastings, and the referee's going to go to his pocket and produce a second yellow card for Steve Corris, and that's a harsh decision to send him off for that challenge. Foley brings the ball under control with a high foot, but he goes unpunished, and then Thompson tries to get away from Torpy, but the left back brings him down, and it's a free kick on the corner of the box to Bootle. There were claims of offside in the build-up to that free kick as Wilkinson played it through to Thompson, but the Bootle striker is being played on by a Reds player out of shot behind the pillar. O'Brien to take it once again. He's already scored once and he's repeated the trick again, and Bootle take a late lead, and it looks like they're going to come back from 2 goals down to snatch a 3-2 win. But look at where the free kick was conceded and where it was taken from. 3 or 4 yards further infield, though you can't take anything away from O'Brien's strike.
Three-2 defeat. Don't think you got the rub of the green from the referee.
No, I mean, we've started off well, we've gone rightly so, 2-0 up. Possibly, and not possibly, should have had a penalty in the first half. 2 penalties, to be honest. Not taking nothing away from Bootle. They're up there for a reason. We've given them a game. It's been, I suppose, an entertaining game, but the official in the middle was an absolute disgrace. Other people might think I'm being a bit harsh, and I know we all have a go at it, but tonight was about him. And as the officials on the night, I just don't think they were up for the job. I thought they bottled it on quite a few occasions. And there I am at a football match talking about an official. And I thought he was an absolute disgrace.
It seemed a bit harsh. Steve Corris is sending off to nothing
Well,
fouls, 2 bookings.
Again, it wasn't that type of game, I didn't think. But, because he's had that bad a night, he's got to do something just to make it more interesting for some reason. I'm not going to take nothing away from the 2 free kicks. They were free kicks, but prior to them, there was issues further up the field. He's let things go. They're going to get a foul outside our box, and Brien, to be fair to him, took 2 great free kicks. But tonight, I've just said to Chris there, you know what, honestly, why do they just want to be about them? Because that's what it was about. It was about him. Every decision he made it wrong.
You feel cheated then out of something?
I do, because we've had a good end of the season, to be fair. And the lads, we know it's a derby game, and yet I accept it. But I've always said to me lads, it's the way you get beaten, things like that. And again, I'm not taking nothing away from Bootle. Bootle on the night, they've created more chances than us second half, especially. And like I said, they've gone on and winning games. But that's Bootle. They're up there for a reason, like I said. But when you get someone in the middle who wants to be about him, and he'll go home and he'll look. And I've said, I'll show you the video, mate, of the game. Because some of his decisions were a joke. And it's harsh, I know it's harsh, I'll probably get into trouble for it. But, what can I say? I'm talking about a referee when I should be talking about a half-decent game of football.
Positives, though, from the match. It was a decent first half performance from you.
Yeah, it's, again, and again, I'm not being, our club was, we only train once a week, if we train at all. Bootle have their own ground, and no doubt they train twice a week or whatever it may be. But it's credit to Bootle the way they've gone over the years. They've moved forward. The admirations have gone up this year. It hasn't worked out. Chris will probably have a look at the situation in pre-season, and they'll probably be one of the favourites, no doubt. But I want to be part of that as well. I've just said to the lads, our fitness levels are not where they should be. But I'm not going to take nothing away from the lads. The lads, again, have put a shift in, and the fitness level showed in the end, because it's hard when, especially when we don't train as often as we could, or we should, sorry. But, again, this season's been a learning curve, and there's loads and loads of positives, especially the last couple of months. There's been plenty of positives, and I've just thanked the lads there for their efforts, because they have worked a little miracle, to be fair, to get out and where they are in the league at the moment. People might think it's unsuccessful, but it's been very successful. We took the chance, of course, and we survived.
Steve James' goal, if that was in the Premiership, it'd be shown again and again on Match of the Day. Well,
that's Stephen all over, isn't it? We've said it all along about Stephen. And we'll go just before that, he should have had a penalty as well. But, I think if he had a saddle on his back, he might have got the penalty, because the lad was only short of a saddle. But, again, we're talking about the referee, who's... I don't even talk about him, to be honest. To be quite honest, I've spoke about him in the manner... listen, I know we all make mistakes, but when it's consistent bad ones... I mean, there's an incident at the end of the game there, when 2 of the lads, one from Bootle, one from AFC Liverpool, who've had the ball together, how can he give a foul? He's going to give a foul to Bootle when it wasn't a foul. The thing is, he should have stopped the game, because the 2 of them banged heads, and he's give a foul to Bootle. So... That's him all night.
And the most frustrating part of the night, then you're talking about the referee and not the game.
Well, again, people might think it's me being bitter and twisted and upset. I'm not that way inclined, into the sense of, listen, I know officials have got to... If we don't have referees, we don't have football, I know that. But some of them, we've got to use common sense, and I don't think he's used common sense all night, and I think, some of his decisions was way out of order. And I've got to say this, and I'll probably get fined, like I said. But we'll see what happens.
Finishing off the season on Friday against Bay Cup.
Yeah, and I've just said to the lads there, let's at least win the last game, and it goes into pre-season. So that's all. I look forward to it. We can thank the fans in a little way, and move forward to the pre-season and come next year.
And tonight's performance shows you can compete with one of the best teams in this league.
Well, out of if you like the top 5, the top 6, we've give every one of them a game, every one of them. So I'm pleased in that aspect. Tonight's performance was a bit better when we played Bootle Boxing Day, obviously. But again, when you're 2-0 up, I expect to win games of football. But again, I'll go back to him in the middle. But I can't be bothered with him no more. I've had me say, I'll probably go home again, and I think about it. But to be fair, I'll think about it for all the wrong reasons, and it's about the referee when I should have been talking about, you know, a decent game of football. To be fair, it was a good, considering there was nothing to play for as such, you know, promotions, relegations and things like that. It was a decent game. So, you know, credit to Bootle for having a little go at us. You know, again, credit to them for coming back from 2-0 down, but what can I say?
He's hoping for better officiating on Friday.
Hopefully, thank you. I'm still smiling.